How's my life?
Yeah, how's your life? Is it good? You guys have a good life?
I think my life's good.
What about you, Danny?
That was a basic answer. Life's pretty good, except for the part where I'm getting traded. But that's something
That's
else.
something
You're
else.
getting traded?
Yeah. Oh, you
What?
haven't. You ain't nobody told you that story yet. I'm getting traded in jobs.
Oh, like you're gonna be sent to another restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That's cool.
I mean, I think I have a good life. Um, I have like a family I love. I have many things um, that I wanted, and so I feel like that's the way we kind of define the good life. So, yeah. How about you, Joseph? You have a good life?
I think my life is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. Better than I used to be that good. I know it is though. It is. It's gotten a lot better. Now, my next question. Why is it good? How do you know it's good?
Hmm.
Well, for me, at least, I feel like I live a good life is kind of like I measure my life based off. It's gonna sound like real cliche. I measure my life based off love, and I say that in like there's a lot of people who live right. They have all types of materials. They have all types of money, houses, whatever. But a lonely life isn't a life at all. And I say that because, right? I don't mean love in like in a relationship sense. I mean love in general.
Mm-hmm.
Love from your parents or love from friends. Like having people by your side. It's part of the reason why we exist. So that's how I measure my life based off that love. Like if I know that I have a lot of love to give and a lot of love to receive, and to me, I'm living a good life.
Hmm. I feel like for me, I believe I was designed like very productivity driven, and so for me, like,
OCD. No, I'm sorry.
well, I do have some symptoms from OCD, but no, I do not have OCD. Um, but I kind of like measure the good life, and like for me, like if I am able to like accomplish like what I have, what I like the goals that I have. So right now, because I have been able to accomplish many of those goals, and I am on the path of accomplishing others, then I would say that yeah, I feel accomplished. I'm living the good life because it's a life, like in my eyes, it's a life of purpose.
Okay, and then you think there's a life of purpose because no, because you obey God,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Right.
Yes,
So
because like many of the goals that I have for my life have been like aligned, like in obedience to God.
okay, so my next question is because I have a youth, right? And then they ask me these crazy questions, and then sometimes they're like, hey, but not everybody obeys God, right? But they seem to have a pretty good life. You know, they have money, they have cars, or they're good with their families, or they have this and that. What do you think about that?
I think that a lot of people define the good life as having like a lot of luxury, a lot of comfort, um, just a lot of pleasures,
Yeah.
things that you want. Usually, it's a life without worries, even though
Mm-hmm.
that does not exist.
Yeah.
But a lot of people define the good life as that, and it's crazy because the media portrays this too. When you
Yeah.
look up to influencers, or especially now in the social media age, everything that you post is your
Team.
sorry everything that you post is whatever you consider your good life, because you're not going to post something that you're embarrassed of, right, or something that you're
Yeah.
lacking. You usually post what you have. So all the things that you were able to accomplish, or all the things that now you have, like that. So people look at that as the good life.
Yeah.
The new car, the new house, the new ring.
Yeah, because their perspective is different. Like they have a really different perspective.
See, that's a nice way of putting it about it. See, I was saying it in my head, and I was trying to
Yeah.
find out. I was gonna say they're lying to themselves, but I like the way you said it. They
That's
have a
their
different
perspective.
perspective.
Yeah.
Because you had to look at it like that. Some people don't realize that a lot of people don't realize that they're suffering kind of inside. So they think they're living a good life because they have like momentary happiness. Like you have momentary happiness when I got a new car, momentary happiness. I'm hanging out with my friends, a momentary happiness. We got a new job, momentary happiness, like stuff like that, and it portrays a good life.
Yeah.
But the reality is they're suffering. I mean, how many celebrities do you hear about? A perfect example. Well, I'm probably not gonna say his name, but there was a celebrity who used to. I'll tell y'all his name later, but he committed suicide. I'll tell you, he's a great comedian. Man was living. He was on top of the world. He was a comedian since before a lot of us were born. So when we were kids, I think he committed suicide around the time we were teenagers. So
if I believe I know who you're talking about, then yes.
But look at that. He had all the money in the world. He had a wife. He had kids. He had his house.
Fame, which a lot of people look for.
Those are things that people look at
and the good life.
Good life.
Yeah,
for sure. So I bring that because people have it so messed up. And then let me bring this with food, you know, of course, I gotta do it like that, right? So it's like this, right? I think that life is like a banquet. There are parts of food that are better than others. Okay. Some people are used to certain foods and they think, oh, these are the best foods, but it's because they haven't tried the other ones. So, for example, in the kitchen, there's this thing as well. I'm gonna say this wrong, and if there's somebody who knows kitchen, hors d'oeuvres, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's different plates with different meals, and it builds up the whole like experience of eating the food.
Hors d'oeuvres, what you saying?
Yeah, something like it's something.
I was sorry, my bad.
I think
I know I should have been focusing, but I was thinking about what was he talking about.
Yes.
It's a term that I
they give that at weddings.
Which if my professor catches me, because we did this a whole semester. But I always forget the name. But point is that
they both work in restaurants and kitchen is their thing. Not me,
so,
but yeah.
Their whole thing, right, is every food it gets better basically, or they're all good, but it gets to the point where there's a climax of food,
because
right?
you have
like
your
this is like the main
your appetizer, then your first course, second course, third dessert.
So there's people that don't even get to the first course; they stay on the appetizer of life.
Okay.
They don't even get to the other parts.
I like your metaphor.
And imagine not even going after that to then go to the dessert. Come on, man. Everybody loves a good dessert. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like life is the same way. People they know certain parts. They have a perspective of things because that's what they have experienced, and they haven't experienced what we have experienced. You see, we don't have that fame, money, but we have something that is much better.
I agree because it's like, think about it like this. Most people see it like, right? If I have, right, let's say they're, like he said, going back to the food example, let's say they're on the first course, and the first course is, I don't know, give me a meal. What's your favorite
pasta.
Meal? A pasta is a nice...
Not my favorite, but...
A nice bowl of gourmet Alfredo chicken right there. Okay. So a lot of people sit there, they eat the chicken, and they be like, hey, I got this nice 20-ounce ribeye coming next. But they don't think they want it because they're still hung up on the pasta. That's kind of like going back like to the whole topic. Like, I feel like that's why people don't obey God when they're living the good life, because they're too busy eating the pasta and they're thinking like, for what reason do I need to eat the steak? And then that's when you got to ask them the question, why not eat the steak? I'm just like, 20-ounce steak. If y'all know me, my favorite type of food is red meat. Well, besides pancakes, but why not eat the steak?
This is a donkey from
Rare. Hey, man.
I think something to think about too is that these people that think that they're living the good life, or maybe let me not call them just these people. We, because I feel like I fall in there too. We sometimes think that we're living the good life if we're living that life of luxury, of comfort, of those pleasures. But then when that's taken away, like you had mentioned earlier, like that momentary happiness, when that's taken away, I feel like we realize already. Sorry, I'm a teacher, so I talk with my hands. When that's taken away, we realize that we feel empty. And that's because the good life has nothing to do with luxury, with comfort, or with pleasures. It has everything to do with living a life of meaning.
People live life out here purposeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's the beautiful thing about, you know, obeying God. Because there's a lot of people saying, if I already have a good life, why do I need to obey Him? Like, what's the whole point of that, right? And it's not that you obey Him because you have a bad or a good life. Is you obey Him because it's the right thing. And if, as Christian, right, as a Christian, if you decided to follow Christ and you decide that He's your Lord and Savior, guess what? Every kingdom has rules you need to abide by.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna let Him, you're gonna be like, oh, He's my Lord and Savior, He's my King. He's a King, right? You need to follow the King.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's beneficial to
Exactly.
follow the King, because every single commandment, it's gonna allow you to live that good life eternally.
And to be the best version of yourselves. See, like
You'll
something
be
I like
living
to
a
tell,
life of purpose.
I like to tell people, look at it like this, right? If you take away like all the purpose, all the rules, all that, most human beings are designed for survival of the fittest. So they're always looking for the next best thing for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone is always looking for the best car that they can get for themselves, the best house that they can get for themselves, right? What they can get, the best thing they can get for themselves. So I always tell people, if you want the best, wouldn't it make more sense to align yourself with the creator of everything, who promises you everything? Like this man, think about it. If he said multiple times, bro, I'll give you what you want, because he says it. Ask and you shall receive. You just got to listen. Why not do it? Right? We're all looking for that next best thing. Why not do it? If he's offering it to you and you know his word is good, right? This man created all of us. You know, we can go testimony for testimony, miracle for miracle, but we ain't gonna do that today. Why not? Why not follow him? Like,
I think
you tried without him now.
Because, as you said, asking you will receive. But we all know that if you ask for it, you gotta work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll receive. And then there's a lot of people. This is the truth. They're just lazy. They just want to ask and literally be given to them without having to do anything.
Sometimes
That's
I'm people.
Sometimes those are the things that and I say we, right? Because man,
Sometimes I'm people.
I've been there, you know. Like, we've all been
Sometimes
there,
I'm people.
we are people.
Sometimes I'm people. Yeah, I
Sometimes I'm people.
thank you for making that.
Yeah.
Stopping me there instead of saying these people. I
No,
included.
yeah, no.
We included ourselves because
No,
I'm
but-
with you there.
Yeah, no, it's good, and we also we also need to understand that it's us, right? This is something that only like a few, all of us, we're not perfect, right? We're not perfect. It falls on all of us, and sometimes we don't want to obey. Sometimes we do want to obey, because there are times where you do want to, right? That's the way I was giving it in class was sometimes you want to manage, you want to give up. But you gotta learn that when you have to manage better. When you want to give up, keep on managing. Don't ever stop. You know.
And
So-
can I mention something? You said ask and you shall receive, and you mentioned that we have to work hard. Some people might take what we're saying here and be like, oh, so I'm going to ask for that new car, or I'm going to ask for that new house, or I'm going to ask for all my pain to be taken away so I can live a life of comfort, or I'm going to ask for this specific pleasure to be fulfilled, you know? But again, is that aligned to the actual good life? It's not. So whenever we go into ask and you shall receive, well, you shall receive meaning, right? And true purpose, whenever you actually are aligned with the definition, the real definition of the good life, which has to do with that life of meaning, that life of purpose, fulfilling God's destiny for you. Not just luxury, pleasure, and comfort.
I'm laughing because everybody uses that verse, but I always tell people, but be careful what you ask for, because he just might give it to you. It's not the way you think it's gonna happen. I promise you. So then I ask y'all, what did we learn today here, kids? What did we aprendimos?
I learned that obeying God has nothing to do with the way my life is. Obeying God is what I chose to do. If I want to follow Him, then I have to learn to obey Him, because what He has for me is good.
Andrea?
I'll say that we all need to, on a daily, I think, redefine our lives and make sure we understand that the good life isn't what society is promoting. The good life is making sure I'm living that life of meaning, of purpose. And that's only achieved whenever we are obeying like the eternal truths of God. And like when it has to do with our identity, when it has to do with our identity, with our lives, with everything that He is, like that's eternal. It's not temporary happiness here and there. Like that's eternal. And so if we're living by that, anything can happen. And we're still going to define our lives as the good life because we know that we're aligned with God's truth.
All right. I'll leave y'all with this. Start filling yourselves up with appetizers. Come eat this 20-ounce ribeye with parm mash and broccolini. I'm trying to tell you it's good.
That's a good life, yeah.
All right.